Hey everyone, so what's the real difference between a good design and a truly great one? It's often not some massive overhaul. It's that final critical 10% of effort, that polishing phase that takes a solid prototype and makes it absolutely shine. Today, we're going to break down exactly what that means. Think about it. You've done all the hard work. The structure's there, all the pieces are in place, but it just doesn't feel, fantastic yet. Well, that missing piece, that secret sauce, is almost always hiding in the final details, the deliberate, careful polish you apply at the very end. And this is what we call the final 10%. It's the UI polishing phase. This isn't about going back to the drawing board and redesigning everything. Nope. It's about a focused, final push to fine-tune and elevate what you've already built. So, let's get a really clear definition on the table. Final UI polishing is all about boosting two key things. First, visual coherence, which just means everything looks like it belongs together, like it's part of the same family. And second, aesthetic consistency, making sure the same design rules apply across every single screen. And the most important point here is that we're talking about small, deliberate refinements, not some huge radical overhaul. I love thinking about it like a master woodworker finishing a piece of furniture. The table's already built. This is just that final sanding and varnishing that makes it truly beautiful. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, the whole process can really be broken down into three core pillars. You can think of these as your practical, hands-on tools for polishing up any design. And here they are: colors, typography, and spacing. These three are pretty much the foundation of all visual design, and getting them just right is the absolute key to a polished final product. So let's dive into each one and see what to look for. First up, color. On the left, you can see what happens when colors are all over the place. It feels disjointed, it totally weakens the brand, and honestly, it can create real accessibility problems with poor contrast. But now look at the right. A consistent, defined color palette, it instantly strengthens the brand's identity and makes sure everything is clear and super readable. All right, our second pillar, typography. On the left, vague typography. It just confuses people. It forces the user to work way too hard just to figure out what's important. But look at the effect of a clear hierarchy on the right. The user's eye is naturally guided. The whole page becomes scannable and just effortless to read. And pillar number 3, spacing. A cluttered layout like the one on the left feels stressful, chaotic even. It's tough to focus on anything. But just by applying consistent, generous spacing, the design starts to feel breathable. This simple change dramatically improves readability and makes the whole interface feel so much calmer and way more professional. Now, it might seem like we're just talking about making things look pretty, right? But the impact of these changes goes so much deeper. This is where polishing stops being about just aesthetics and starts directly improving the user experience. I mean, on the aesthetic side, the benefits are obvious. You get this amazing sense of harmony where every element feels like it belongs. And this isn't just about being pretty. It makes the design feel intentional and visually stable, which gives the user confidence that they're in good hands. But this is the magic part, that direct connection to user experience. Clean typography literally helps people scan content faster. Consistent spacing guides their attention exactly where you want it to go. And proper color contrast, that improves accessibility for everyone. It even gives a sense of emotional comfort, making the product feel trustworthy and reliable. And when you get right down to it, mastering this final phase is what separates an amateur from a professional. It's a loud and clear signal of design maturity and real expertise. And you have to remember, it's often the smallest, tiniest details that make the biggest difference. Is every single icon perfectly aligned? Does every button have the exact same shadow? Is every margin consistent down to the pixel? These are the little things that, together, create a massive impact on how professional a design feels. I think this quote just says it all. Let this one sink in for a second. Attention to detail demonstrates maturity in design. That's the core takeaway here. It shows you care not just about the big ideas, but about every single pixel of the user's journey. And the payoff for all this detailed work is just huge. The result is a prototype that feels totally complete and visually stable. It's a design you can present to stakeholders with total confidence, or put in front of users for testing, because it already looks and feels like a finished product. So the next time you finish building a design and you've got all the components in place, ask yourself one last question. Is it just built, or is it complete? Because that difference, Right there is where great design truly happens.